How do I do it all? The Brezza gives me the power.
First retired out of this season, and Tilak Varma, of all people, the timing of it will raise questions, and let me get your reactions on how it impacted the game. Sanjay.
I don't really think that it impacted the game in any way. Retiring him, had he been retired slightly earlier, that could have had an effect of how much had to be gotten in the last over or so. But what it does is that Santner got what, 2 balls to face or 2?
Yeah.
And maybe even Tilak would have got maybe a couple of that particular delivery. So it wasn't a Pollard was walking in or something
Right.
like that. So what you do is that you clearly are sort of putting down one of your top players, and Tilak would be devastated with that.
Mark.
Yeah, look, Tilak actually played a decent role with his partnership with Surya. You'd expect him, with his talents and that, to be able to, up his tempo. Obviously, it just wasn't happening for him. I think they bowled really well at him. He maybe could have taken a couple of options, moved around the crease a bit more. I mean, that'll be a conversation that Polly will probably have with him at a later stage. But yeah, I don't think it had impact on the game. If there was someone coming behind him, they might have done it earlier. They backed him to try and get his tempo up a bit. Unfortunately for him, it didn't happen. And I do think, yeah, that this could potentially have a couple of issues later on in the competition for him. There's going to have to be some good conversations to get him back on board and getting his confidence up again.
I mean, just the timing of it, because that was the penultimate ball or rather the last ball of the penultimate over. You needed, what at that time, 20 odd of 7, I think it was.
24 of 7.
24 of 7. So even if we are to assume that they could have had a Hardik Pandya taking the strike in the last over situation, which they did, the pros and cons of taking the decision at that moment, I mean, what do you sense would have been the thinking behind it?
Look, I guess you probably think, I'm trying to think as a coach now, and you think of the situation, and you got to be there in that moment to make those calls. And you probably feel that they've hit their lines and lengths to Tilak, and he's got no answer for it. You've basically got to free it off the last ball. Hardik was probably going to face all the balls in the last over in any case, and you need a boundary. Sending Santner in as well, maybe he thought that they were going to change their length to him, maybe go into the wicket, which might have been a hit that maybe came off. Looking at it now, it didn't come off. As we said, I don't think at that stage it made a big impact in the game. If he had hit a length ball for 6, Santner, then you might have looked at it and gone, well, okay, great call. So, yeah, I think they gave him enough chance to try and up his tempo. Unfortunately for him, it didn't happen on the night. Yeah, there might be a couple of things that need to be said to get that youngster's confidence back up and running again.